it's actual rape.
Oh, come on. He was the bad guy. He deserved that. Eh,
It's just insane though that they actually did that.
Hey, I mean, the 90s, man. We got away for everything, sir. Remember the first movie? We got a transy killer in the film.
Yeah, I
So,
know.
yeah, so we got a lot. We got away a lot of things. Hello, everyone. Andreas Poco Guy, as you see here. True as true knowledge here, and Andreas Poco Guy are back again for a spectacular, awesome movie review, and that's Ace Ventura 2 When Nature Calls. For his 30th anniversary, came out in
I'm
1995.
Jeff. I'm Jeff S. True Knowledge, sir.
What did I
Without
say?
whatever you called me, I'm Jeff S. True
Oh,
Knowledge.
I'm so sorry. I'll do what you want to do, sir. Fine.
Okay.
Jeff S. Fucking True Knowledge. That's his name. Everyone, remember that. And remember my name. Fucking Andreas Punk Culture Guy. Okay? And plus, don't worry, folks, there's a special guest coming tonight. Of course, you know him as the half shark, half man, half cybernetic. Cybernetic shark. He's coming.
He's not gonna be here.
No, he just no. I got proof of evidence, which I maybe I should not show in Facebook. He messaged me, Andreas. I am coming tonight, but I'm gonna be a little late. I'm doing some dinner cooking, so I'll be right there. So I left the link for him. So he is coming. Just he's coming a little
Uh,
late or the review. So no way, folks. Cyber will be here. He'll just gonna be a little late for this review. So that's fine. So he's coming. And what was it? I think he will be the one that will be the middle. He will be the one that liked this movie more. I think he actually likes this movie. So
oh
one,
yeah, Cyber likes all these stupid fucking these type of comedies. Of course, Cyber would like that shit.
yeah. But yeah, of course. But yeah, I guess so. Let me start with this.
If you would hurry up and watch Andor, we could talk about Andor. Or if you would hurry up and watch The Last of Us, we could talk about The Last of Us or something like
Oh
that. You know what I'm
my
saying?
god. Next month we'll do that. No worries. Next month.
You better hurry up. The shows are coming up soon.
Yeah, I know. Did you say the yeah? What The Last of Us is going to start first, right? And then Endor
Yeah,
is like
yeah.
towards the end. Yeah,
Andor is towards the end, and The Last of Us starts the first review of The Last of Us is like the 14th of next month. So that's not very far from now. So
yeah,
you should probably watch The Last of Us pretty quick.
yeah. So yeah, I'm currently watching Endor now to get that over with because that's 12 episodes. So I'm working process on that one. Last of Us gonna be this week because
Oh,
right
so
now
you started watching Andor?
yeah. So far, good. I really like it. I thought the story is really great. The I mean the special effects is really spectacular. I think the
How far into it have you gotten?
uh hold on. Let me check my notes here because I have been taking some notes from the show here. I think episode. I'm not that far. Like episode 2, I kind of stopped. So
Oh,
I
okay. So you got through
yeah
episode 2.
yeah. So I am not that far yet in the series, but it's work in process right now. So
It really picks up. It really picks up after episode 3. You'll see.
okay, that's good to hear. Yeah, so I'm working on that. Last of Us, that's gonna be this week because it just makes
You,
sense.
you're taking notes during Andor.
Yes, maybe I want to take notes, to see if I like this show, and I can maybe bring some in-depth analysis of this show and/or uh, probably going to be my favorite Star Wars show of all time, maybe. So we'll see. Anyway, so um, okay, what's your relationship with Jim Carrey? You like him as a comedian? He's your favorite from the '90s, sir? I'm just
I liked
curious.
it. I liked the more serious stuff he did. Like I liked the Man on the Moon.
Yeah, that's a good
I
one.
like that. That was probably that's probably in my top 3 Jim Carrey movies. I like what is that one weird titled one that he made with the chick from Titanic. Um,
Eternal Sunshine.
Eternal Sunshine is probably his best film.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like altogether, like out of everything he's done. that's probably the best movie, top to bottom. But we reviewed that on the Bleeding Edge, and that was a good review. That's a good movie. Lot of interesting, a lot of interesting stuff goes on. I don't really the comedy stuff. I mean, I guess it was okay when I was a little kid. You know what I'm saying? But like, and I like reviewing the first Ace Ventura with you. That the first Ace Ventura movie is a lot different than the second one. So I mean,
Yeah,
I guess I mean, I'm a fan of Jim Carrey, like his comedy like stuff on like on
Living Callow.
on that on In Living Color is like classic, is like classic 90s, raunchy comedy,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's not my favorite. He's not my favorite, or anything like that at all. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really, I don't really think he's all that great. He's an interesting character as a person. You know what I'm saying? Like, he makes for an interesting interview and all that. His like, the way he thinks and all that. His opinions on stuff and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's kind of crazy. He's got kind of like a crazy vibe going on to him. As a person, you know what I'm saying? Not just in movies, I'd love to see him come back, like make a comeback and do some serious films, that'd be cool. You know what I mean? Like, I'd love to see him do that, because he's actually not bad as a serious actor. He's pretty decent.
Yeah. No. He's a great actor. He knows how to do dramatic roles. Yeah, and I understand where you're coming from. I mean, all these comedians from whatever decade we know him. There's
The
gonna be
cable guy is the cable guy was a good one, but that was because the humor, it was an adult type of humor. You know what I'm saying? And it was balanced with drama. Like
yeah,
you know what I mean? And it had a great cast. You know what I'm saying? But that's probably another one of my top 3 Jim Carrey movies. As a cable guy.
yeah. Did you guys do Cable Guy as a movie review over MC Bleed Edge?
Nah, man. You were with us. You were around right from the beginning of when we first started doing movie reviews.
Okay, yeah. No, I don't think you guys
You
did it.
you missed a couple. You missed a couple of them in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like the first couple ones we did, you missed a
Yeah,
couple. But like after a while though, you started jumping out of every week. You know what I mean? So like pretty much everything we've done movie review wise, you've been on for the most part. So
yeah,
you know if we did it or not.
yeah. I think I don't think we have it scheduled in maybe before, but maybe one day we'll do it because yeah, you brought up the Cable Guy, another good movie. Very dark
It's a good
comedy.
movie. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
never we've never had it on the schedule or anything like that. It's never came up until now in conversation. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But it would be a worthwhile review to do. As far as comedies go, it is nice to change it up and do a comedy once in a while. Um, kind of break it up a little bit. You know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah. So my opinion on Jim Carrey is, I mean, I grew up watching Jim Carrey. He's a very funny actor. I love his, comedic roles as Ace Ventura, Dumb or Dumber, The Mask. I think The Mask you will like because that one, that comedy is a little more control. It's not like over the top, but it's good.
It
Um,
never seemed all that appealing to me to watch as a kid, so I never watched it.
yeah, yeah, The Mask. Yeah, yeah, The Mask is a very interesting movie to see here. Okay, here, but still cooking. Okay, let me.
I know that was the role that like broke out. What's her name broke out in that role in that movie? The
Uh,
actress,
Cameron
Cameron
Diaz.
Diaz. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Very hot during that movie. Very gorgeous. Great film. I think we should review that because that one is really great. It's actually a comic book movie actually, so
if
it's
it's
one of
really
those.
if it's really if it's really stupid though, I don't like movies like that.
Um, it's
If, it,
it's
if
more.
it's got if it's got that stupid, you know what I'm talking about. If it's
Yeah,
got that stupid vibe to it,
yeah. Okay. I mean, it doesn't have that like Ventura comedy. No, it's very different. It's more like he actually has a mask that's like it's actually
yeah,
Loki from the
I
Norse
get
god.
I I get the gist of it, kind of.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's tough to explain the mask, but it's really good. It's a little more deeper in terms of like some of Jim Carrey's like his character is more calm, but when he becomes the Max, he's more wild. So it's not like his other roles. But you need to see it for yourself to judge it, and everyone,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
like you have to see it yourself. But it's really great. It's not stupid comedy. It's actually really good comedy. And the special effects is really good. Like especially when he does transform into like the Max, is really great. And he does do impressions of several like celebrities and under the mask. But anyway, let me do a trailer for you guys for the sequel, and then we'll start kicking into the scene by scene recap of the movie. So let me start now.
In the deepest jungles of Africa, two tribes will fight a savage war unless a sacred animal god is found. So they're sending for the only man who can help. Jim Carrey is Ace Ventura, pet detective. Now,
perhaps we should slow down. Nonsense, poopy pants!
he will embark on a delicate mission to help a people untouched by civilization.
They did not know about disease until the white man came. I am fighting something.
Blind to fear and immune to pain.
Do it. I dare you.
He'll gain the respect of the tribe. Discover the animal within. And answer when nature calls. On November 10th.
Nobody wants to play with me.
Ace Ventura is in Africa.
I'm alive. I'm alive. Say uncle. Say uncle.
And Africa will never be the same. Jim Carrey,
Do I have something in my teeth?
Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls.
Say hello to my stinky little friend.
Okay. All right. All right. Let's start this right now. Oh, good. Raph, brother Raph. Oh, I have a question. Side note. Did Raph had a chance to go back to the massage parlor by any chance? Jake, did
Oh
you?
no, not that I know. Not that I know of, sir. I haven't talked to Wrath in a while.
All right. Well, hopefully he got a chance to do that again and redeem himself one day.
Yeah. Oh, hopefully.
Hopefully. All right, let's start with this Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls. So we started the credits, obviously, the logos and yada yada yada, movie studios, stuff like that. And then we cut into this like high mountain kind of
Hey,
sequence. You see-
Cyber.
Bumblebee tuna, bumblebee tuna.
Oh, Zyber, how you doing, sir? Before let me I want to get
Fantastic.
yes, great, fantastic. I want to know about your love of Jim Carrey. You love him? Do you love this movie? Do you think it's better than the first? What was your thoughts on this movie, sir?
Uh,
Oh,
So
you're gonna like it, Jim.
I love Jim Carrey, of course. I've always enjoyed him. I think honestly, Ace Ventura: When Nature Call was the first Jim Carrey film I ever saw. I actually saw it in theaters back in '95, and I remember just laughing my butt off, super loud. And the guy I was with, basically, he was like, "Dude, you gotta calm down," because I was laughing so hard, because it was so freaking funny. And I was like, I remember just coming out of it going, "Oh my god, it's so freaking awesome!" And I just remember laughing so hard at it. And this came out a year after Dumb and Dumber came out, so I hadn't
Yeah.
seen Dumb and Dumber yet, and so my mom was like super against seeing Dumb and Dumber for some reason at that time, and I probably didn't see Dumb and Dumber until probably a couple years later. So, but I got to see this, and I don't know how I got to see this, which was just along the same type of humor, but I got to see this, so I was very happy. At least I got to see this in theaters, because it was freaking amazing and hilarious. This film is definitely very different than the first film. The first film is definitely more like comedy with kind of a thriller aspect to it, but definitely along the comedy lines, but nowhere to slapstick. Whereas this one is completely like a bonkers slapstick. So I feel they're two different types of films. So I have to say I equally like them in their own right. I probably like this one a little bit more only for the fact that the Bumblebee tuna thing is absolutely hilarious. And just the whole concept was even more crazier than the first film was too. And I thought this one was just absolutely magical because it was the first one I saw too. So I have to say that this one I like just a tad bit more, but equally I enjoy both.
Okay. Yeah. No. I'm kind of in the same boat here. I like this more than the first one. I think it's just there's so many jokes I remember. I mean, you can like I love the part when he gets hit by those two arrows by the other tribe and thinks that he's really dead and it goes through the bones. And he has the Wolverine haircut, which was hilarious. And he's like, don't one misses with the dude. And then it gets immediately attacked by the crazy tribe warrior. Um, yes, I have the clip. I needed to show everyone to see this because it's just so good. It's so funny. But yeah, I agree. Such a different movie from the first one because like the first one is like your typical like police seizure kind of movie, but with aminos as like the case. And I was talking to Jeff here. It has also risky things like the second one has, but like this one takes it way far in terms of risky slapstick stuff, but it's funny. But anyway, thank you, Saber, for your thoughts. It's really wonderful you're here. And let's start with the what is it, the recap scene thing. So I was talking about the opening. So you're right on the moment where I'm like, yes, best movie ever. So we get the yada yada yada, movie credits and all that, and then we see like a helicopter and we get the title of the movie, Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls. And so we see here, Ace is kind of climbing up to the mountains. We see like him giving food to a bird, and then we discovered that there's a plane that has a cargo of a raccoon, and he rescues the the raccoon. But then unfortunately, well, first up, right away you notice that they're spoofing the cliffhanger. If you haven't seen this Stallone film from 1993, they're spoofing this. So he has the raccoon on his belt, and then all of a sudden the belt starts to break, and then the raccoon is now in peril. And so like Ace has him in his hand, but fortunately he could not hold him. And so fortunately and sadly, a raccoon has fallen to his death, and that causes Ace to become depressed, and he joins a monastery to like find his light again. And so here we get approached by Greenwald, one of these English person, about this job that he has offer for Ace. But Ace doesn't take it at first, but then the monastery, despite being rid of Ace antics, tells Ace that he can achieve the enlightenment should leave with Greenwald, which he thinks about it, but then he doesn't think he's ready yet. And so the monastery leader gives him the medallion, so he say that he's now the enlightenment and that he has completed his task. And so he say, yes, I will take the case. And then bam, we get this funny scene where uh the whole monastery starts to have a party. We got one random monk on his underwear, so that was hilarious. Oh, okay, that was weird. Anyway, um and then after that, Ace tells Greenwald he will go down, but he has like a slinky here, which I will show you just now. Let me pull up the clip here. Where's the slinky here? God damn it.
I've never seen them act like that before. Denial can be an ugly thing.
Well, we should go, Mr. Ventura. I've arranged a plane.
I'll meet you at the bottom. There's still one more thing I must do before I go. It's incredible! It's gonna be some kind of a record! Everyone loves a slinky. You gotta get a slinky, slinky, slinky. Go, slinky, go! Oh, man! Can you believe it? It was right there! Can I do it one more time?
Please forgive me, sir, but if we don't hurry now, we might miss the plane.
Of course. How selfish of me. Let's do all the things that you want to do.
Anyway, okay, so selfish, but okay. So anyway, so now after doing that slinky thing, he just goes to Greenville, you know, to the, I guess, Africa. Yeah, go to Africa. He meets up with the main villain called Vincent Cadbury, and he begins to like investigate, and he does his usual stick. He does well. First off, because he's an ammo lover, you see him not taking light of the like I say the elite and their take on aminos. Like he kind of like takes down this like monopoly guy, and it does his like fashion pose because of his wife was like holding a box coat or something like that. And then of course he gets the mission statement or like mission report from the bad guy about the tribes and the secret bat thing. And then before they leave to meet the tribe, the Wachatis, right? Uh, he goes to the main library where all the heads of the animals, and he has this like ridiculous laugh. Well, not really laugh, but like heartbreak and like psychological breakdown of like the horror he sees with these animals being butchered, and then he leaves. And then we were off to the crazy movie known as When Nature Calls. So let me stop there. Let me start with you, Cyber. What do you thought about the opening, up to Ace meeting up with the rich guy that recruits him for the case in the manor he's at? Go ahead.
So it's spoofing cliffhanger was super funny. Him saving the raccoon was absolutely hilarious. I remember watching it going in 95. I hadn't seen cliffhanger yet. So I was watching it going, I'm like, this looks like it's spoofing something. Because it looked familiar because I had seen the trailers and everything for cliffhanger, but I hadn't seen it. So I was like, this looks vaguely familiar. And shortly after this is when I actually saw cliffhanger. It was one of the ones my mom actually let me watch back in the day because it was just R for language and violence. And so I was like, okay, I'm like, that's totally spoofing cliffhanger. And I thought it was absolutely freaking hilarious how it works. Everything is exactly the same. The clip breaks. He catches it by the arm, and then he falls after he, grips and all that kind of stuff. What is that sound?
Jeff.
That's not drinking water.
Oh
yeah. Oh yeah.
And so it just absolutely cracked me up. And then him ending up at the ashram was absolutely hilarious with the monks. And that whole scene when that Bolton Greenwald goes to get him and stuff like that is like on point perfection. Jim Carrey, and he's in there and he's like, oh, with all the animals around him, and he's got the big headpiece on and everything, and you're just like what the hell is going on here? And he's just like, I am one with myself. Material money doesn't mean anything to me anymore. and all that kind of stuff. And then he tells him like the penny is like really, and you're just like kind of like like, oh, there is a price there, isn't there, Ace? Oh yeah, and he's like, but I haven't gotten my medallion yet to the Dalai Lama guy. He's like, here, have mine. He's like, this took you 80 years to achieve, and he's like, I don't like it anymore. You just kind of like, you can definitely tell this guy is really trying to get rid of him because it's absolutely like they want him gone. And so he's like, what about my spiritual oneness? And he's like, damn, you just attained it. I have. Yes, just now. He's like, and then the Slinky scene is absolutely priceless. It's fantastic. And him wanted to do it again, and then him say, let's do everything you want to do. You're just kind of like, dude, you just got to do it already. Like, it's time to go, sir. We got a plane to catch. And that's super funny. Okay, Dodge.
Yeah.
And so, absolutely hilarious. And so then get on the plane. Oh my gosh, him and the sunflower seeds. Like, what the hell? Like, it was absolutely hilarious. He's like, he like starts eating him. And he's like, as Greenwald's telling the story, he's like, it's like that. And then afterwards, all of a sudden, his whole arm is covered in the sunflower pits. Is absolutely freaking hilarious. And he's like, and he does the William Shatner thing from Twilight Zone.
Yes, I should be great. Okay.
And he's like, there's something on the wing, something, and you're just like, he does like such a great impression of William Shatner's thing, and it's definitely like Ace Ventura kind of Jim Carrey like, it's definitely it's more of like his impression of William Shatner, and it's on point. He's like, I'm sorry, could you repeat that, please? He's like, the chief of the Watutu tribe. And he's like, and he does the thing, and it's super hilarious. And then they make their way to the consulate, and they have that great moment there where he like basically shows his expertise, and basically tells the guy where he's been and all this kind of stuff. And you're just like, the introduction of Simon Cowell, Calloway,
Yeah.
and his character, and it's super funny, and how he says it, everything is like on point, like perfect, and just like he's like, you seem to be like that, and you seem to be a workaholic, sir. And you just kind of crack up, and the whole like thing where he like opens the door on the truck thing and like bangs it against the other car and stuff like that is super funny. And just a great section here, leading up to him going into the game room was absolutely hilarious. And then it does the 360 going like that and stuff like that was absolutely freaking hilarious. Totally something like it would be in The Mask. That definitely was like something like The Mask and everything. So definitely a Jim Carreyism. And but yeah, great beginning. Lots of funny things happen. I mean, nonstop laughs. Super funny still to this day, 30 years later. And I think it's just a really big, great, fantastic opening.
Yeah, no, I agreed. Fantastic opening. First up, this Africa. So a bit awesome trivia here. They did not shoot this film in Africa. Apparently, the shots they shot here was like in South Carolina, and there were some shots they did in Texas, and like so it's really interesting the fact that how they make this movie look like they're in Africa is really cool. But yeah, oh my god, the raccoon scene is hilarious. I mean that spoof of Cliff. I didn't know Cliffhanger until I saw the film like a couple years before, and I was like, oh, they did spoof that. Especially, it's like, hold on, and like he sees him, and it's just hilarious. I do have the clip here with the raccoon death here. Just give me a minute.
gotcha! I think I gotcha! Maybe not! You're slipping! Don't let go!
Oh my god, perfect way to open the movie. Let me put this back here. Perfect way to open the movie. The Slinky was so funny. I was just laughing so much when you say, "We love the Slinky, Slinky, go Slinky." And then, of course, when he stops, he want to do it again to break another record. And I just love how Greenwald will say, like, "Sir, I don't want to, ruin your fun, but we have to go before the play leaves." And I just love when he say, like, "Oh, all right, let's do whatever you want to do," or in that phrase. And I was like, "What? Like, come on, you're in a case now." And yeah, I just this whole sequence here is just so funny. So after that, they go out to meet up the tribe here, and then like Greenville kind of tells him like the reason he's brought up here is because there's a wedding that's coming into for 4 days, and that with this wedding it helps to bring in the prize, the Watachi and the Wachuchu together in peace. But a complication has happened. The white bat, the Shikaka, is missing, and so uh, the Chicago, the white bat, and he's how you say he's trying. They need to find it before a out
Shikaka.
econ. And to prevent like a outright war against the tribes. We discover here that before the case is even investigate that apparently Ace is afraid of bats, and so he tells him that he's gonna help find the bat, but he's not gonna touch it or like he hates bats for some reason. So, wow, that explains why he probably was the Riddler because he hates bats. Anyway, um, so after that, he goes meet up with the tribe, and then here we got all the hilarious thing, like I Greenwell explains they haven't met like a white person before, and so like he sneezed on them, which was hilarious, and then he tries to push the guy that's in like what do you call this like big ladder thing that he's like standing for a couple days, and like he's trying to like trick him to fall down, and then of course he goes to the like the cage where the bat was leaving at, and then he does the shikaka, and then they're like kneeling like down for the bat, and he does that a couple times, and he tricks the guy, or the was it the leader to that he lost the game, and he tells him to get out, which was hilarious. And then at the same time, he eats food, which is bat droppings, hilarious. And then he meets with the princess, and then the princess, he eventually befriends the trice princess. She tries to juice Ace, but Ace doesn't overcome seduction, temptation. He tells her that he has an oath to behold because of the whole what do you call it, enlightenment stuff like that.
He says that vowed a vow of chastity or something like that.
Yeah, sleep privacy or something like, yeah, like clergy
Celibacy. He says I'm celibate.
celebrate, yeah, which was funny. And like she puts her roll back. I was like, wow, like that was the only mature thing he did in this whole movie. I was surprised about that, so I was like, okay, good for you. And yeah, and Ace also befriends the prince. What we call him, Udo. He's great character. I actually like him in the film. He assists him, to like translate his like words into the language of the Wachachi or the Wachuchu, but it doesn't work in proper ways. Like he's kind of like misspelling them. So after that, so Ace investigates, evolves, eliminates suspects, and during the excellent threats between the Wachachi and the Wachuchu, Ace expects the how you say the management of the Wachuchu of taking the bat, but attempts to infiltrate the Wachuchu's village, but is immediately captured. And during this sequence, here he thinks that before he went there, he thought one of the like one of the persons that knew Vincent, Bob, say Burton Quinn, was one of the suspects. You see this great montage of like the music from Secret Entry Man. He follows him, and then we get the hilarious scenes of the rhino, which was hilarious. Where he was stalking this like what we call it, poultry order or something like that. And of course we get the hilarious scene of him coming out with the rhino, which everyone knows, so iconic, hilarious. And then after that, he gets out from the rhino, which people thought it was a baby rhino coming out of the rhino, but nope, it's a human being. And then after that, he captures Quinn to kind of interrogate what's going on. He did pay this guy to maybe take the bat to like how you say like spice up the attraction in his like I guess amusement park or whatever you call it. But he didn't know what happened because someone else came in and took the bat, so he's not the main suspect, so someone else took it. So after he gets thrown into the forest, he gets shot by the darts, and that's where he goes infiltrate the Wachuchi, the Wachacha, Wachuchi, the Wachuchi village, but he gets immediately captured. So let me start with you, Jeff. What you thought about this mixed section of him finding out it's a bat, and then him following this poacher guy, Quinn from the Shawshank Redemption, the warden, and then up to him going into the village and being captured by them during that dance thing.
I mean, I didn't even really care who that fucking guy was that was the warden from Shawshank Redemption. I really didn't understand what his character was supposed to be or whatever. I didn't really know. The fucking him turning down and rejecting the princess when she wanted to have sex was stupid. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know what I mean? Like, she's hot, bang her, you know what I mean? Besides that, I mean, I did laugh when he came out of the fucking fake rhino suit or whatever, like, and there was all those people watching and shit and everything, and they thought it was giving birth or whatever. Yeah, that's funny. I won't lie. Like, that was pretty fucking funny. You know what I'm saying? But besides that, I mean, the plot of like, he's got to go find the bat or whatever to stop the civil war between the tribes and all that shit is kind of stupid, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, dude. I don't know. I didn't understand why he went to that party and met the villain guy and all that. Like, that was kind of weird. There was some weird shit going on with that. The main villain's kind of weak. Like, the main villain guy is kind of a weak villain. Then he's got his little monkey friend with him or whatever. I don't know what his whole role is supposed to be, but he's there. The monkey is there, like his buddy. The prince guy from the tribe, he's okay. He's one of the only good secondary actors in the film, So that's pretty much it.
Thank you. What's his monkey's name? Max? That's his name? Yeah, he was from the first movie. It's a pet. He's a pet, we always need pets as a partner.
Spike. He calls him Spike.
Oh, Spike. Yeah, Spike. I don't know. I don't know why I mix it up every time I think about that monkey. I don't know. Anyway, Spike is a great partner. I mean, he was from the first movie, so I was happy he came back from the first movie because he was an iconic monkey. He was also from the movie Outbreak. He's one of those like contagious monkeys in that movie. But anyway, off track here. Saber, what you thought about this mixed section up to Ace being captured by the Wachuchu?
So I mean, we go through a lot of stuff here. We get the great Shitaka sequence. They're like Shikaka, shish kebab.
They have a theme song. They have a theme song that like has Shikaka in the song later on in the movie.
Yep, Shikaka. And And we have that great scene, which is absolutely hilarious when he goes to meet the tribe. Of course, we get instead of Bumblebee and Chewie, he says, Bumblebee tuna, Bumblebee tuna. And I love it. And he goes to the one guy's like, your balls are showing. It's absolutely freaking hilarious. Yes, the tribe's queen there, or the princess who he denies sex to, is absolutely hilarious. You're kind of like, are you freaking insane? That was not only Sophie Okonedo from Firefly and Serenity. You're freaking out of your goddamn mind. And I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? I was the same boat as Jeff. I'm like, hello. But then, we find out later on something. But anyways, super funny though, the whole tribe thing, him and checking out the bat thing. And something that was interesting about him having the supposed fear of bats in the film, Jim Carrey actually thought that was a stupid script thing. He actually fought to get rid of that and have it where he was just allergic to bats. But the director was like, no, I gotta have that. I think that's absolutely hilarious. I want to stick with that. And so unfortunately, that's a fight he did not win, which he won a lot of fights for things behind the scenes in this movie. It's absolutely crazy. Not only did the salary of this film was half of his salary for the cost of this movie, $15 million in 95. Not only that, he also got, for some reason in his contract, he was able to get sick leave of some sort that was considered, if it was considered a God intervention, he could get sick time, but nobody else could get the sick time along with him. So like if they had to work later, the other actors didn't get paid for it. So I thought that was kind of fucked up, but interesting at the same time. I thought that was kind of interesting though. But yeah, the whole Chicago thing, after he powders the whole freaking room and he's like, everything's covered in the dust, the fingerprint dust stuff was absolutely hilarious. And then he pushes over the cage, and all of a sudden he finds a raven feather there, and you're just kind of like, okay, like I'm surprised you didn't see that after all that. And then of course, after the princess scene, we catch him in his hut, and he's like, oh, oh, and we all know what he's doing. And like, that's absolutely my personal reflection time. He's like, okay. But like him getting the chief guy when they're doing the Chicago thing was absolutely hilarious too. And he's like, you're out, go. It was absolutely funny. And basically, we have him in the rhino thing. That's absolutely hilarious. Him having to take off all his clothes because it gets super hot in there. The fan stops working, then the door jams, and then he has to go out through the back of the robot, and it looks like the rhino's giving birth, and everyone's like, oh, and all of a sudden it's him, and he's like, oh, stuff like that was absolutely hilarious. It cracks me up every single time I see that scene. It's so freaking funny. Totally feel that was probably partially improvised too, as he did that. He probably made it funnier than it was supposed to be. And of course we have finding out kind of that, Simon Cowell's character is kind of the villain. We have the poacher guys that we get introduced to. We got Bob Gooten, who is an absolute great character. Absolutely love him and anything he's in. He's always fun to watch. Which is absolutely hilarious. I love the scene where they're going to the room. This is a little beforehand, and they're like, he's trying to tell them about the priceless bat, and he's like, he's like, and stuff like that was absolutely freaking hilarious. And he's like picking his nose and crap and stuff like that was absolutely hilarious. The eye thing, absolutely love the eye thing. That's super hilarious. Jim Carrey actually really did that too. He actually touched his own eye like that and pushed it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he really did that. That was one thing he improvised, which was awesome. And basically leading up to him getting captured by the Wachuchu tribe is absolutely hilarious, especially when he gets hit by those darts and he's running through the forest and his arms and his legs are like, ah! He's like, I think I lost him. And then he gets shot in the back by 4 more. He's like, hey. And then he flips over. It was absolutely freaking hilarious. Great sequence, lots of funny, I think, lots of great fun, and I think it's a really solid section of the film.
Yeah, when we get to the Wachucha village, that's where I love the film even more. Yeah, this I totally agree. Yeah, I mean, when the first film came out last in 1994, he got full like creative control over the sequel. So like this director is not the same director from the first movie. Is actually a personal friend from the Living Color. Oh, if you there's a lot of Living Color actors here, like Tommy Davidson, who played the Tiny Warrior, which we'll get into the whole like Wolverine hair thing. He's from Living Color. He's actually a good friend of him. Um, and you know, apparently he got so many creative control. I like that's this is how much it explains why this movie is so crazy because of that. Um, I
He also was contractually obligated to do this film too.
Oh, yes, that's true. Yeah, I did remember that. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, because you know, you know, if you have something successful, you want to like tighten with a contract, because that's the thing. This weird thing with Jim Carrey, he doesn't come back to the roles, except for recently Dr. Eggman from the Sonic films. This is the only time he really reprised his role for a character. Which
And
I
then
mean,
Dumb and Dumber.
oh yeah, I took. Thank you. Yeah, he did return that. Yeah. Yeah. Besides that, yeah, I totally forgot he did return for that one. Yeah, it is weird. But yeah, I think this is his best reprise role. I mean, I just like this character. I wish he does come back for a third one for Ace, because I think he still got it. And speaking of the third, I actually have something for that scene. Let me. I got it here.
Okay, Quinn is out of the picture. We have no more suspects or clues. But I have instincts, Spike. And my instincts tell me we're getting closer. I can feel it. I can feel it like it's right in my neck. Run! Starting to get numb. 3 darts is too much. I think I lost him. Hey!
I'm sorry. I that scene, the dad, his reaction is like, "What the hell?" What's crazy? Like in the horror, and then the son's like, "So cool." I'm like, "What the hell?" I had to do it, guys. I had to show it. It's so funny, and the dark thing is so hilarious. Like he does this, like it's like he's so like paralyzed to the point. Oh my god. Anyway, those scenes are so hilarious. I just love it. Jim Carrey, one of my favorite actors. Just love him. Great comedian. Anyway, now we're in my favorite scene in the movie. The Wachucho village. Complete opposite of the Wachachis. So we get these. So like the Wachuchu believes that Ace is a white devil, which is true. He is white and a devil. I mean, as we've seen the film before. And he's like convinced that he wants to fight them and have him go through many challenges to gain trust through them. If he passes them, he will live as promised. So we see this great montage of like him doing the challenge. Like there's one scene where he gets an apple from a man's body and then he gets to like push a baby out of the woman's belly, which was like, okay, he could do that. uh you know but it's this scene where people love about this movie is the final challenge here, the circle of death. So he must fight the most toughest warrior ever. You thought it was the big guy, but no, it's this little guy named the tiny warrior. Comes out and he is kind of very tiny, and Ace kind of like rubbish off is like, I had to be him. And so he starts to do his like stick, and then they start to fight, but fortunately just comedic, uh Ace is losing the fight. This guy is really strong and like he just beats him. And then we got the one moment where he fixes his hair and he turns into Wolverine, which is kind of scary because he could easily been maybe a good Wolverine, but I don't know. And yeah, so in all this comedic thing, he dares the tiny warrior to throw the arrow at him, which he is so silly. Apparently, he's like a was a I mean, I'll show you a clip, but like it's funny when he dares him, and then of course the arrow throws him. He panics as always, and his comedic antics entertain the Wachuchu. They start laughing at his pain, and he asks the prince to throw him another arrow to like fight him. But unfortunately, the prince throw the arrow at his knee, and so now he has two arrows at his knee, and so now it's in his bone, and so he's suffering. And then like the whole tribe starts to laugh so badly, and then apparently after he loses the fight, uh, uh apparently he's a sissy girl for the general because of what he did. And then we cut to end, and then Ace and the prince go. He gets hit by the dart, I guess by the tribe again, and they warn him that the war will be commenced tomorrow, but at noon. So that's what happened. Uh, after he departs the Wachucha village, he gets shot one final time with the dart for laughs, which that was hilarious. And then Ace realized that the tranquilizer dart, the tranquilizer is different. It's not the same one as the Wachucha uses. So someone else, I guess, hit him with the dart. Or this part I was a little confused, but I mean, someone can maybe explain that. But whatever, it was carved from some special theme. I don't know what, from in one of the forests, but this leads him to find the two poachers, the bat. But they tranquilize Ace, tie him into the raft, which is sent over to the waterfall. And of course, Spike got out, but he tried to help Ace. But hey, he's trying to survive, so he's not gonna he's not gonna die with Ace. So he leaves out and peace out. And yeah, so Ace goes to the waterfall. He's alive, as he say. He's alive. But a alligator just pops us out of nowhere. He's trying to eat Ace, but unfortunately, Ace has the better hand against the creature, and so he beats up the alligator, which is funny. Yeah. So let me stop here. I before we get into the wrapping stuff here. Before we do that, I do need to show the clip here.
I'll have you know I have the reflexes of a cat and the speed of a mongoose. Throw it. I dare ya. Oh, no. Don't just stand there. Throw me a spear.
It's in the bone. It's in the bone. It's in the
Oh my god, it's in the bone. It's in the bone. Zyber, what do you thought about the sequence of the Wachuchu village, the challenges, and up to the end point is when he gets tranquilized again by the poachers and gets attacked by the alligator. That's the end point. Go ahead.
So this section is super funny. The whole Wachuchu tribe sequence is amazing and hilarious. You know, as you mentioned, he does the challenges with him and Tommy Davidson, and he like burps the baby. He like does all different types of different crazy things throughout it. He's on the water log, and he's like supposed to be fighting the guy, and he just takes the guy's apron off or his dress, and he's falls in and all this kind of crap. And then, you know, of course, we get to the time he's supposed to fight Tommy Davidson, and they bring Tommy Davidson, and he's in that little backpack. And I'm like cracking up because Tommy Davidson really is a really small guy. He really is. He's like only like 5'5", I think, 5'4", or something like that. And he's like super small. So that was absolutely freaking hilarious. And him playing that tribe character was absolutely on point and super funny. And of course, we have you know, Udo in the background doing all kinds of stupid things. Him saying the wrong things to their dialect and all this kind of stuff was absolutely hilarious. And he's like, "What did they call me? They called you White Devil." Quitzorsha. And you just kind of crack up at that because you're like I have a feeling that really is a real term in African language, Quitzorsha. So I just absolutely like that word. Just cracked me up. It still cracks me up 30 years later, and I always love like saying it sometimes. And it's just a funny sounding term, you know, White Devil. And you know, it's great sequence, super funny. I mean, their fight is absolutely on point, as you showed the clip of him getting stuck with the two spears in his legs, and he's like, "Oh!" And then him leaving and them shooting him with a dart again was absolutely hilarious. He's like, "Oh!" And then of course, you know, the whole dart thing, him noticing that the two darts are different, is basically makes him realize that the darts he was shot with earlier in the film were not the Wachuchu, and that they were actually the poacher. So that was just to give you kind of a clarification of, oh, these are not the same type of darts that I've been hit with before. So we get that kind of clarification. And then him getting triked again by the poachers and then having to fight the alligator was absolutely freaking hilarious too, which cracks me up. Like, it is so fake and so funny at the same time. It's so bad, but so funny. And this film just really shows like Steve Odekirk's humor. And we saw that with his film Kung Pao Enter the Fist that he did in the early 2000s as well. And he just has that kind of crazy humor and stuff like that. And the fact that, you know, he got the job because Jim Carrey suggested him, you know, saying, "I want this guy to do it, not the other guy," was, you know, another godsend kind of for Steve Odekirk, getting his name out there even more. And, you know, they actually collaborated on a few other films after this. They did Bruce Almighty together and stuff like that. He co-wrote Bruce Almighty and stuff like that. And I think that's just a really funny, you know, great little like kind of camaraderie that they have and stuff like that, which I think is really fun. But yeah, I mean, this whole sequence was just great, super funny. I just got to mention the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang moment. If you don't know this, that whole scene was actually ad-libbed, that sequence, because apparently Jim Carrey had that day for some reason was having a hard time remembering his lines. And so he actually ad-libbed, just started singing Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And Steve Odekirk actually saw that him and the guy that played Greenwald didn't crack up or anything like that. It was like a solid take. Like he thought it was so great that he kept it in the movie. So I think that's kind of a funny little tidbit for you. But yeah, great sequence, super fun, super hilarious, and just all around a great portion of the film as well.
Thank you, Saber. Yeah, Steve Odekirk, very interesting guy. He consulted from the first movie. He helped a lot to like form the character of Ace, which we know. So that's why he was recommended to direct the sequel. He did other things that I remember. If you're my age, if you guys been watching this live stream, he did Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius. He wrote the story. He did the shows and the spinoff. Planet Sheen. He did that, and then he wrote also the remake of Nutty the Professor, the Eddie Murphy movie from 1996, and so that makes a lot of sense with that humor if you see that film. But yeah, great guy. I think he has done a lot to like really shape some like entertainment stuff that I grew up that I really like. Jeff, what are your thoughts about this whole section? Do you like it? Come on, dude, you should like it. I mean, the dart was funny. The Wolverine hair is great. Go ahead,
Yeah,
sir.
man, I guess, sir. I already told you I thought this movie's kind of stupid, dude, overall. So, like, that's my baseline with the film. I mean, it has funny comedic moments. The fighting with the alligator scene is really funny. It's good. They pulled that off well. You know what I'm saying? It looks really good and everything. Like I like that. The challenges he has to do or whatever with the tribe, he knocks the guy over in the fucking hot coals and steps on it and shit and everything and all that. That's funny. He's got to fight that one crazy guy that's in the bag.
Yeah.
The spear guy, and then
Yeah.
he gets speared and all that. That's funny. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. He finds the white bat or whatever, but he gets drugged and goes over the waterfalls or whatever. His monkey doesn't save him. I don't know. It's all right. Like the movie picks up a little bit. It gets a little bit more entertaining. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much it.
Yeah, no, thank you, Jeff. I'm happy to hear that. By the way, I just want to bring up the guy who directed this movie. He also did the story for Patch Adams. I don't know if anyone's seen that movie, the Wolverines film.
Oh
But
yeah,
yeah. So he did that as well. Oh,
I saw
and
Patch Adams in the movie theater.
oh, really? Oh, cool. I heard of it. I haven't really had a chance to see that movie. But I'm very curious. And Cyber, you brought up the height for Tommy Davidson. I was checking on that. His height is 5'6", which is hilarious. I don't know. Like, I mean, I thought he was a 5'11" or like 5'1" or something like that. But no,
No,
five
he's
six.
short. He's short.
Yeah, short. So he's 5'6". So, but yeah. Oh, okay. So let's get back to the movie. Of course, guys, great job. I'm gonna give you 100 points tonight. It's hilarious. You guys have been awesome. So yeah, we're kind of like up to like really the finale because like after getting Terry's, Ace survives, he continues, the investigation on how the poachers are involved with the war between the tribes, right? And like here we got this funny sequence of like Ace like consulting his like master from the ministry by spiritual protection. So like Doctor Strange, like astral protection, and he kind of likes himself a little bit to his master, like where's the medallion, and he's like, it's left from my physical body, and he like cracks down in pressure to say, like, look, I throw it in the cave. What do you want me to say? Okay, and it lays there, and then there he had like a click of a moment. He realized, oh, and like the master was happy. He figured out, and so he goes back to his physical body, and then he repeats guano, you know, and then there he cracked the case. So with Abbott's help, Ace seduced that Cab or Vincent, the main villain from Simon Carr, has taken the bat in order to turn the tribes against each other, so that he can seize control of a lucrative market for guano. So that's interesting. So he did that. So when Ace confronts him about his suspicions, he confesses to the plot, explaining that he hired Ace as an alibi to these events. But the local law enforcement, by the way, Jeff, I don't know you recognize him. That's the guy from Oz who played
Yep, yep. He played Adabisi.
Adebisi. I didn't recognize him until today. I was like, oh yeah, that's Adebisi. Really cool. In early role. So he's here. He tries to take Ace arrested, but like he had the elephant to like push him in his car away, which is funny. And so Ace escapes, and like he summons various animals to like to facilitate his escape and attack the mansion. So the villain tried to shoot Ace, but like he's stopped by Greenwald, which was funny. And then of course the villain was trying to escape with the bat in the Wolver. We get a funny scene here with the poachers getting stunk by a stunk, and of course in Jim Carrey fashion, he is did an impression of Al Pacino saying, "H- "Poachers, salute to my stinky little friend," and sprays him with the dirty spray smell, whatever from stunk, hilarious. And then after that, he chases after the villain with the monster truck, which was hilarious. As you saw in the trailer, he just does crazy things like no one wants to play with him, which is crazy. And eventually he overtake him, and the bat cage kind of flows over and destroys his car. And then Ace returns the bat just as the Triumphs were about to fight each other. So on the battlefield, so that's like invertedly stopped. So he did save the world. I mean, save the tribes, not the world. But anyway, the tribes. The bad guy was trying to run away, but he's got noticed by the prince, and then he calls him devil, white devil, which I was happy when I heard when he said that word. I realized, oh yeah, he said devil at that moment. That makes a lot of sense now. And so both tribes tried to pursue him, but as Jeff said before, I think, or maybe before the live stream, the this guy gets encountered by a gorilla. By the way, it's been set up earlier. This is the season where the gorillas mate. So we get a gorilla takes him and he has sex with him, which was okay. He's mating with the bad guy, so that's what happened. So we stop from there, and then the Wachachi princess is married to the Wachucho prince, who is the warrior that Ace versus in the Circle of Death earlier. And Ace does his little shtick here, and then and then the prince just came out and didn't say something, and then Greenwald explains that the bride is no longer a virgin on Ace account, and so the peace between the tribes still achieved. But then now the two tribes join together to chase after Ace, and then end of the movie. So let me start with you, Saber. What you thought about this movie? The finale of the film.
So the end of the film is just, I mean, I think fantastic with the rest of the film. We find out exactly what's going on, and Ace has basically got to get the bat and get it back so that they don't go to war, basically. And we have that kind of that great moment where he like is battling with Calloway, and we have all the kind of crazy stuff. He's going against the poachers and everything like that. And he goes and gets the bat, and he's like running with the bat and everything. He's like, he's like, shikaka, and stuff like that. And, of course we have like, everyone else kind of like going, what the hell's going on kind of deal. And, he gets the bat back, of course, and everything. And, then we find out, that they're kind of praising him for getting the bat back, and they don't go to war with the two different tribes go to war. And, of course, then Tommy Davidson's character is wed to Sophie Okonedo, and they go in to do the marital bed after they've just been married. And he's like, what happened? He's like, she's not a virgin. And he's like, they can tell that. And they basically show basically Ace running away after him finding that out, and the movie cuts. But I think the ending is great. We got lots of funny moments going on, lots of funny just one-liners and just comedy that Odenkirk is really great at. And I think it's just a really solid ending. I enjoy it. I think it's fun. I think it's hilarious. One part I forgot to mention is at the beginning of the film when he's at the dinner thing, and he does the asparagus in his mouth and everything. Do I have something in my teeth? And but then he's like the Monopoly guy. He's like, we got the Monopoly guy, and he like knocks him out and puts him up, and it has him like talking and stuff. Was absolutely freaking hilarious too. So, very solid ending to a very fun movie.
Yeah, yeah, that Asparagus face thing was hilarious, and I totally forgot he called the guy the Monopoly guy. That was funny, and then he like puts him like just like the like I don't know like the like a coat on him, and he does this like his pose, evoke whatever he does. It's hilarious there. Jeff, any thoughts on the finale, sir?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a solid finale. I mean, it ends well as far as like the final joke, you know, being that like he took that chick's virginity or whatever. Like she was. It turns out she wasn't a virgin. You know, like that's a great ending. You know what I mean? Like that was good. You know, it was funny when he finally got the white you know bat or whatever. You know, and he was running around with it and everything, trying to get it in the cage and all that shit. That was pretty funny, you know what I'm saying? I like that, you know. The gorilla like grabbing the villain guy at the end and then fucking him behind that bush or whatever, you know, was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't believe that they actually did that in the movie, you know? Like, showed him being raped by the fucking, you know, gorilla or whatever. That shit's fucking crazy. But, yeah, you know, I mean, I don't know. It's definitely not a movie I'm going to watch again, ever again. You know, so, yeah, but it definitely... It gets better in the second half of the movie than it is in the first half, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I prefer like the last half, like the 2/3 of the movie. The beginning is good, you know. It's just like setting up the plot and all that, which I don't know if there's a plot in this movie, but anyway. Great guys. Let's just last trivia. You know, speaking of the movie, you know, last movie, you know, the first movie, it did very well in 1994. It was on a budget of $15 million. And it grossed over 107.2 billion in 1994. The sequel is interesting. You know, as Saber brought up, the budget was much bigger here in this movie. The sequel was $30 million. Obviously, you know, paying a lot with Jim Carrey's, you know, salary, as Saber brought up before. But man, the box office thing grew even bigger. It crossed over $212.4 billion, even doubling what the first movie did. It came out in November. If you saw the trailer, November 10th of 1995 of that year. I was surprised about that because that came out after Batman Forever came out. So a lot of if you guys grew up in the 90s, Batman Forever came out in 1995. That was the biggest movie of that year. That crossed over 300 million worldwide. So I'm not surprised this did very well. I mean, again, continuing the strengths of Jim Carrey as a box office draw during that 2-year like rise that he became a star, you know. So ratings. Jeff, what's your rating for this film, sir? And go ahead.
Maybe a 5.
Okay. No, it's reasonable. I like that. Saber, your rating, sir, of this movie.
10 across the board, sir.
I guessed it right. 10. Oh, perfect, sir. Love it. Oh man, this is tough. Yeah, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Whatever. I love this movie. I watched this more than the first movie, really, when I was growing up. So, thank you guys for joining me today. Before we leave, we actually have a trailer. I hope you guys don't mind. We do a trailer reaction. I was surprised we got a new trailer for the John Wick movie spin-off, Ballerina. So let's kind of take our time to watch this and kind of have our thoughts, and then after that we'll wrap up and leave immediately after that. So let's do it right now. Just give me a minute to plug the cancellation, and here we go.
In Slavic mythology, the Kikimara is a spirit that exists in the shadows. To those with darkness in their hearts, she can be vengeful. But to the innocent, she can be a protector. It's up to you to choose.
Welcome to the Continental. Checking in?
I'm looking for the tribe with this mark.
Needing to know is what got us banished from the Garden of Eden. Are you
prepare to be cast out again, Eve?
Yes. I'd like to go hunting.
Will this be a large or small game hunt?
Large.
You have no idea what you just walked into.
Cool.
There's a declaration of war if she's not called off.
Perhaps I can send someone to solve the problem.
The Baba Yaga. Leave the wolf to its prey.
She sent you here to kill me?
Or you can leave.
I'm not leaving.
Your choice.
This is your fate. And you cannot change it.
Rules.
And consequences.
Okay. Yeah, let me start. What are you guys' thoughts on the trailer? Start with your Cyber. Are you a big fan of John Wick, sir? And are you excited for the spinoff?
I love all the John Wick films. They're all been fantastic. I love Keanu Reeves. And yeah, I mean, for the first trailer that I saw for that, I wanted to check it out. I'm a big Armas fan. I like her. I think she's fantastic. She's always fun to watch. Yeah, I mean, she's gorgeous too. But at the same time, it's just like, you know, seeing her like kick ass is kind of fun. And compared to like some of the other films she's done, she did one with Chris Evans on Apple TV called Ghosted recently, and she kicked some ass in that. And so that was it. Kind of made me think of this film. But that first trailer that they put out for this, it looked pretty good. And then this one's even better. I mean, I feel it shows even more. It's got a really great soundtrack. I think it looks like it's going to be a solid film. I know that they delayed this film a few times because they wanted to make sure they got it right, because they wanted it to mirror the John Wick films. So I have high hopes for it. I think it looks pretty good. So I'm hopefully it's just as good as the other John Wick films.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, Lionsgate didn't have a good year last year in terms of box office. Jeff, you and we did the first trailer like a couple months ago. What do you thought about this one? This pumped you a bit more for June for this film?
The trailer was definitely better than the first one was. Like Cyber said, you know, they really killed it. They really killed it on the second one. It's a really solid trailer. It really looks John Wick feel to it, you know. And she looks really good. Like she doesn't give me that like girl boss energy, you know, where like, you know, where it's gonna be where it's gonna look stupid with the, you know, with the chick beating all the dudes up and all that shit. It looks like they're doing what they're doing with her is pretty realistic. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like kind of like Fast X, you know, like the hand-to-hand female hand-to-hand combat with them.
Yeah.
You know, so it looks good. I wish it was a TV show. If it was a TV show, I'd cover it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, it would make for a great TV show. Honestly, I wish it was. They brought back all the John Wick characters, you know, all the important characters from like the Continental or whatever, you know what I mean? You're all there, you know. The guy from Deadwood is there, you know what I mean? You know, so he's there. That's cool, you know, that they brought them back, and they brought John Wick in there. You know, they got John Wick in there, you know what I'm saying? So you know, I mean, hey, I might have to go see that in theaters. I don't know. We'll have to see, you know?
Yeah, I'm going to see it. It's really spectacular. I love the John Wick films. I seen the Chapter 3, Chapter 4 in theaters. They're amazing action films. Love, you know, Mr. Reeves. He's a great actor. So, yeah. So this trailer looks way better, as you guys saying from the first trailer. I don't like these modern trailers with these like music from like they're like music from like recognizable songs. Like it's better this way. Just doing like a I'm more like non-licensed music trailers is works better. But thank you guys. Thank you everyone for joining us today on Ace Ventura 2. Let me do plugs right now. I have it up ready. So let me start with Cyber. Bless you, I can say. Anyway, oh my god, what I'm doing here?
Bless
Shares.
you. I burped.
I mean, what? We need a word to like say no worries, sir.
Achoo.
Achoo or shakaka.
Achoo.
Shakaka.
No,
That's
no, you
actually
gotta see Shikaka.
shakaka. Shakaka.
Yes,
uh
Shikaka.
oh my god. Anyway, so I got your thing up, sir. Cyber, go ahead. Plug your thing. If you can see it. Um
All right, guys. So if you liked me here on Mr. Pop Culture's Live, you can check out my solo content. You can find me under Cybernetic Shark. You find me on YouTube, TikTok, X, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, all those good places. Patreon. My most recent review I just dropped today, Last Breath, which is based on a amazing true story
Right.
that happened back in 2012. Where this guy basically was out oxygen for 30 minutes before they rescued him, and he survived. So, really great film. If you haven't seen it, definitely check out that review of it. Really enjoyable. If you haven't seen Hard Eyes either, check out that review that I just put up a couple days ago. Really fun horror comedy film. Really fun. And I'll be having more stuff up for you guys soon. Some more trailer reactions, some more movie reviews, stuff like that. My trailer reactions, of course, still have been the last few films I saw in theaters last Wednesday. And yeah, just keep on plugging, keep on watching us, keep on keeping an eye on our stuff. And thank you for subscribing. And let's get this going. Let's get this to the match 2000 mark, folks. Yeah.
Yes, please support his content. It is amazing. Yes, he's almost there. All right, let me put up the MC Billy Edge. I know do plug, sir, but I think it's important you plug your stuff here. All right, go ahead, Jeff. Do your plugs and do your show stick. Or can you hear me?
It's our stuff. It's our stuff, sir.
Our stuff. Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, it's
You want me?
it's
You want
our
me to?
stuff. We all contribute on it. So I mean, it's not really
Yeah,
mine,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
we got Daredevil episodes 5 and 6 on Wednesday next week. And then we have Commando, and we have a big panel on Commando. I think we have 6 people on that show. A lot of people wanted to be on Commando, so so good luck with that, Cyber. I'm sure you'll enjoy moderating that one. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Daredevil episodes 5 and 6 on Wednesday, and then Commando on Friday.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there. That's a great film. One of the best 80s films of all time. You're gonna enjoy it, Jeff.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched Commando. I haven't watched Commando in a long time, so it's gonna be interesting watching it.
Yeah, it still holds up. Great action. I mean, it's very tongue-cheek 80s action film. But yeah, that's gonna be exciting time. Plus, me and Jeff is that Tuesday gonna happen? Jeff, the guest thing.
I can't.
Yeah,
I can't remember. I can't remember. I can't remember the name of that podcast for the life of me. I'm sorry that I can't remember the name of it, but I can't. But yeah, it's set for 3 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday to record with them. They're gonna send me a link, and then I'll send you the link.
Yeah, so we're gonna be guest podcasting with another podcaster to talk about more Daredevil and
they're a new podcast. They're still under their first year.
First year? Oh wow, okay. The Reels podcast that they're called. I just put it up now. So we're gonna record that. I don't know when they're gonna release it. I don't know this live stream, but when not, so we're gonna do that. Yeah, so that's where we're at right now in terms of next week's content. So please join us on the Daredevil, War Again episode 5 and 6, and of course Commando, the movie review live stream on Friday. Thank you guys so much. Have a good night. And peace out.
Peace.